Kory, this one's directly to you, and this is kind of interesting given the season we're in. So the question is around how your company was able to leverage the metrics you had established to survive the COVID season. And they were kind to say, if you're willing to share, feel free. If not, I understand. But really trying to understand how did the way that your company prepared itself with metrics really allow you to survive through the downturn in live events, given the nature.
Yeah, it's a good question. You can imagine it was a pretty big surprise to all of us when COVID hit. It's like, oh shoot, large in-person events are not in a great spot right now. So there was a lot of panic in the early days, and to be honest, fortunately, we had set up the metrics that we wanted to watch trended over time. So, we were looking at the conversion through the marketing funnel. We actually utilize the Serious Decisions demand unit waterfall, where we use opportunities in the system, and there's a single funnel from marketing to sales. But we're watching the conversion, the velocity that it's going down the funnel, and then the conversion rate and win rates. And what we were seeing in the first couple months after COVID is like things slowed down dramatically, right? The pipeline shrunk. So, and I think we were hitting on this a little bit, but like leading indicators, lagging indicators. So when we were in that kind of panic mode, the lagging indicators were all terrible, right? It was like, bookings is dropping off, everything. And there was a couple of months where the leading indicators were struggling as well, but sooner than, we had expected or feared, some of the leading indicators started coming back. So the compelling event of everybody jumping into virtual caused a lot of people that had had incumbent event providers for a long time start to reevaluate, who should we go with going forward? And so we started getting more demo requests coming in and more stuff coming into the marketing funnel that was around virtual, and the meetings and the information we got on, the requests that they needed in order to successfully deliver a virtual event, that all fed back into our marketing messaging, our sales, back into our product. I mean, fortunately, we've been built on modern technology, which allows us to be really nimble in times like these. And so I wouldn't say we had to do a pivot, because our core offering, the event management solution, still applies in a virtual space or an on-site space, and the delivery changes, but the core backbone is still the same. But we had to do some things based off of this influx of inquiries into virtual events to feed our product in order to develop a solution that would put us in the conversation with point solutions out there that have helped deliver virtual events. So, leading indicators on the front end of seeing this stuff informed a number of our actions on there. And then it also started to give us confidence that, that the future wasn't as, dim as we had feared up front, because those early pieces, inquiries, people weren't going to shut down their events. They were going to flip to a virtual event. They were still willing to pay. The technology cost in a virtual event is the same. The building, the venue, the food, all that stuff goes away, but the technology is the same. And that's where we sit. And so for us, we actually, based on the data and metrics, we started to get some objective perspective that like, hey, let's hold strong. Let's stay to our core values and ride this out. So yeah, I mean, it was a tumultuous time, but without giving you all the details, there's a lot of silver lining that's coming back in a positive way in our manner. And the data helped us, kind of build that perspective in the early days.
That's such a great reminder to the value of leading indicators, having both leading and lagging indicators to give you that insight of what's to come, because we're all trying to make decisions quickly with a lot of shifting information, but having that little glimmer of good things to come is fantastic. So I'm glad that you were structured that way to handle it.
Yeah.